What else? Let's see. Oh, she just moved to California, and she always has like the cutest hair colors and is just very authentic with who she is on social media too.
Aw, thanks, girl. Oh God, that was you. You started talking. I was recording you, and you started talking about it. I was like, that was you just repeating back to yourself.
Like it's echoing. You're totally.
Thank you. That was so sweet. You're the best. I'm so excited to be here. Okay, so Ashley wanted me to chat a little bit about inviting. So I'm going to chat about like behind the scenes inviting, and I'm also going to talk about social media. And then I tried to, in my notes anyway, leave enough time to like have you guys ask questions, because I would love to tailor this based off like what you need. And if you want to talk more about like, you know, attracting in your social media, or you want to talk more about behind the scenes stuff, like we can go wherever you want to go. But to start with, I do have some notes. So I am a total like pen and paper girl. So if you see me like looking to the corner, I'm looking at my notes. I also have major ADD. So if I get distracted or like a cat comes up, like that's bound to happen. Okay, so when it comes to inviting, like we can obviously invite to the business, or we can invite to our challenge groups. And then of course, beyond that, we can invite to like free things, and we can share Energize with people and all of that. But inviting is, as you know, our second vital behavior. And I don't know if you know this or not, but vital behaviors are not optional behaviors, they're vital. So you have to actually do all of them if you want to grow your business. And what I found is that, and I think a lot of you guys can maybe relate or have heard other coaches say this, is like the one that tends to be the hardest for people is the inviting one. Oftentimes as coaches, we can show up for our own workouts, we can drink our own Shakeology. I mean, who doesn't want to drink a superfood shake that tastes like cake? I mean, for real, I want 5 a day. But when it comes to the inviting, I find that a lot of coaches get like nervous, whether they're afraid of being rejected, or they're just like afraid of being ghosted, or they're just not even sure like what's on the other side of that invite. Like if I send this is a big mystery. I don't know what's going to happen. I'd rather just not do it. I'd rather run away. But the thing is, like, if you don't actually go out there and do the inviting, one, you're not going to build a business because you have to invite to build a business. Two, you're leaving your business to chance. If you're not going out there and you're not taking radical responsibility for inviting people, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for people to come to you, that is not being a CEO. That is not taking radical responsibility of your business. So I want you to own up, own your business, show up like a CEO, and go out there and invite like a crazy woman, like for realsies. So let's get more into that. So first, I want to talk about like the mindset when it comes to inviting. So why do people get nervous? What does that have to do with, and how can we reframe that? So much of the reality that you are currently living is all about your own perception. So however you perceive things is how they're going to show up and manifest into your life. So if you're perceiving inviting to be this big, scary thing, or you're perceiving inviting to be a thing that you might get rejection, that's a choice. You can show up and be afraid of the invites and either do them scared or like run away from them and avoid them, but that's your choice of how you want to show up. So the way I see it is like, I want to show up in my business and in life in a playful state. I 100% believe that like the universe works faster in helping you make your goals happen if you're having a shit ton of fun along the way. So I always show up like in my business. I didn't even ask Ashley if I could swear, but there's so many F-bombs being dropped and everything.
Okay, yeah, warning everyone, but you're totally fine. Be yourself.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I was like already doing that, but thank you. Okay, so I don't even know what I was saying right there. But anyways, your perception of playfulness, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so this is what I think. Okay, every time, I just said okay like 20 times. I just had a team call, so guys, like I'm not even, like I'm warmed up. So like I'm just being the crazy me.
Bring the fire.
I don't even need to warm up. Okay, so the way I show up in my business and everything that I do is I show up in a playful state. I'm not going to sit or show up for my power hour and sit there and like don't want to do this, or I don't want to send out invites. Like, oh, this is so hard. This is going to take forever. I don't want to do this, because whatever I'm feeding is the exact thing that I'm showing up as, and is exactly what I'm going to get in return. Like energy attracts like energy. If I'm showing up for my power hour and I'm just like, blah, I don't want to do this. Does anybody want to join me? If I'm like sending them these like boring messages without emojis, guys, it drives me nuts when people don't use emojis. What world are they living in?
You always are like, you need more emojis. You always have said that to me.
Like, please, why are there not more? It's okay. So anyways, think about invites in that way. Like, if you make them fun, they're going to be fun. So whatever you show up as is exactly how they're going to feel. So if you've got to do invites every single day for your business because you have a goal, you have a vision, whatever it is, financial freedom, time freedom, I don't know, more time to travel, more money to travel, be with your family, whatever this vision is, the only way to get to this is to go through this, and those are your invites. The only way to get to this is to do your vital behaviors every single day. You can't skip this and get to this. You have to do that. So you might as well show up and have a shit ton of fun. Am I right? Might as well have fun along the way. So I want you to turn your fear, whether it's invites or anything else in your business, I want you to turn that fear into passion. Because when you're wildly passionate about helping people, that fear seems so small. I need you to become so obsessed. Let's go a little Uncle G on you. I want you to become so obsessed with this vision and what it takes to get there. I want you to become so obsessed with those invites. I want you to show up every single day, and I want you to crave those invites. And I promise it'll happen, but you have to keep showing up. Because if you show up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then all of a sudden Thursday's a hard day and you make excuses, and then what does it happen? Friday, you make excuses again. You're like, what's another day? Saturday, Sunday, what happens? Not only did you only show up for 3 out of 7 days, but you lost the best thing on your side. Does anybody know what that is? Momentum. You lost momentum. And when you lose momentum, everything feels 10 times harder. So I need you to become obsessed with showing up and inviting every single person you come in contact with. I need you to invite your grandmother. I need you to invite your uncle. I need you to invite your best friend's great-grandmother and see if she wants to do size. I need you to invite your neighbor. I need you to walk down the street and invite everyone at the grocery store. I need you to invite everyone, because you don't get to this vision if you don't do this. You don't get to this vision if you don't do all those invites. I need you to become obsessed with it. I need you to have fun with it, because what's the point of doing anything if it's not fun? And if you don't go through that, if you don't do those invites, if you don't become obsessed, you never get to this, and you just keep living this average life that you're trying to get out of. If you want to get out of this, to get to this, you have to go through this. Am I right? Does anybody like my diagrams? Feel free to draw them on your page. I should have a slideshow so that it's not hand movements, but I just don't roll like that.
You know, it's cracking me up because, I mean, obviously not everyone on the call is from Michigan, but a lot of our team is from Michigan. And it's like, this is our symbol, like the mitten. So
here's your mitten, guys. Also, this is as big as my head, like for real. Okay, so I think it's selfish to not invite. Why would we not scream it from the rooftops if we have something that could literally change someone's lives? Whether you're inviting them to coaching or you're inviting them to a challenge group, it doesn't matter. We have all these tools in our back pocket, and if you're not inviting everyone, you're being selfish. You are withholding something that could literally change their life. You never know who needs to hear from you today. You never know who needs an invite today. You never know. The person sitting on the other side of that DM or on the other side of that computer screen when you're sending a message on Facebook, you never know, but they could have needed that. They could have been on the verge of suicide. They could have fucking needed you to invite them, and you're too scared. You're too stuck in your ego. If you don't invite, it is all ego. Get out of your head and get into your heart, and I need you to invite every single person and stop being so stuck up on your ego. You will never get anywhere if you're too worried about what people are going to think and what they're going to say. What kills the most dreams? Worrying about what people think and what they're going to say. I need you to forget about that, because they don't live your life and they don't pay your bills. So you have to just get over that, and you need to invite every single person you come into contact with. You never know who needs it. You're a waitress, you're pouring coffee. Does a waitress get upset when they ask you if like you want coffee? Does a waitress avoid your table and not invite you because you're scary looking? No, like a waitress just invites everyone. So you have to think of inviting as just pouring coffee. What's her name? Sarah Robbins? Is that her name? Yeah, okay. What's her book? Are you typing it?
I'm trying to remember. I'm forgetting. Rockstar. Something about Rockstar.
Rockin' Robbins or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look for it. I can't remember.
Kat just typed it. How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. So she talks about that in her book, about how like you're just a waitress pouring coffee. And so reframe it and think about the fact that that's what inviting is. You're just pouring coffee, and like you shouldn't care if people say no, because I mean, if you're a waitress and pouring coffee and someone says no, do you get upset? Do you go cry? Does it bother you at all? Do you even think about it again? No, you don't, because you're just here to invite. So what I need you to do is, if you're worried about the inviting process, if you're worried about what's on the other side of that invite, you have to detach from the outcome, because the outcome is not your job. The outcome is not your job. I need you to write that down 10 times, and I need you to underline it. The outcome is not your job. Your job is the invite, and you have to go out there and invite unapologetically and not worry about what's on the other side of that. Okay, so we talked about how to rock your network marketing business. Go for No. If you haven't read Go for No, I want you to write that down, or maybe just go buy it right now. And Get Over Your Damn Self, which is another network marketing business book that's so good. You can even write an affirmation. So if you feel like the thing that's holding you back is your mindset with inviting, as opposed to like making the time to do it or something like that, if you think it's up here that's the problem, you could even write yourself an affirmation. And it could be something as simple as like, I invite unapologetically every day because I know what I do matters, and I know what I do can change lives. I mean, you can reword it to however resonates with you, but that's not a bad idea to have an affirmation every day if you think that what's up here is the actual problem. Okay, so when it comes to inviting, like I said before, we have the social part of it, our social media outwards invites, and then we have the behind the scenes invites where you're sending like, you know, a text invite, audio, whatever. So I'm going to talk about social first, and they both go hand in hand. So they're not separate. So like if you're sending behind the scene invites, those are only effective if when the person goes to your social media, it's consistent. So if you send a behind the scenes invite, but then they go to your social media and they can't see like anywhere that you're on a fitness journey, or they can't see anywhere that you've had some sort of results, or they can't see anywhere that you're actually building business, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to join you because this makes no sense. Like, I don't even know what you do, but you're not showing up as that. So they go hand in hand. You can't do one, you have to do both. So when it comes to social media, like I said, it has to be consistent. You have to be showing up every single day, and you have to be talking about both aspects of our business, the health, fitness, wellness, and the fact that you mentor people to build virtual businesses as well. Share everything about coaching. There are endless things you can share about coaching. And I encourage you, because I think that sometimes coaches are like, well, I'm not making $1,000 a week yet, or I'm not making $10,000 a week yet, or I'm not a millionaire yet. So how am I supposed to show up and tell people that I have a virtual business and I mentor other people to do it if I'm not where I want to be yet? And I think it's important to make a list of all the other things that coaching does for you. So like, yes, it allows us financial freedom. Yes, it allows us to be in control of our own income, but it also gives you a badass community. It also gives you extra accountability for your own health and fitness. Like it gives you, I mean, I don't know about you, but it introduced me to personal development. I didn't know what that was before, you know? So it does all these other things that you need to share about too. You can't just share about like one side of it. Whatever you put out there on your social media most often is what you'll get in return. So let's say you're really, really good about talking about the fitness side of what we do, but you're not that great at maybe the business. You don't talk about it because that part's kind of scary. You just kind of stick to our workouts and the nutrition, whatever. And so you're really good at filling challenge groups, but you never sign coaches. look at your social media. How often are you talking about the business? How often are you telling people that they can do what you do? It's not enough to talk about the business and position it like, hey, this is what I do. You have to also flip it and go the extra step and say, hey, this is what I do. You can do it too. And you have to show that consistently. You have to open that up and make sure that they know what you're doing is also something that they can do as well. So things like this, I've noticed, and this is, I don't know if any successful coach has said this on like a national wake-up call, but I've personally noticed since I've been a coach, that the coaches who dive into the community the deepest, and the coaches who really like put roots into our community and make friends, those are the ones that are in it for the long haul, and those are the ones that are most successful because they've really, like I said, made roots in the community. So I want to urge you to dive deep into everything our community offers us. I want you to hop on like Ashley's team calls. Like if Kat ever does a call, I want you to be there. National wake up calls, those have to be non-negotiables. Like if you're skipping national wake up calls, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have to go to events. You have to go to Super Saturdays. You have to be at Summit. If anyone misses out on Summit, I'm going to shake you. I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to shake you, because seriously, not only is it amazing training for your business, but it's also amazing personal growth. And you have to talk about that. So like if you're on here tonight, go on your social media and talk about the fact that you're on this awesome training that's helping you crush your goals. If you ever do like one-on-ones, when you mentor your own coaches, like talk about that kind of stuff on your social media. I think that inviting and building our teams has gotten so much easier in the last like year. Like stories are game changing. Like if you're not on stories and inviting, hop on that train like meow. Like don't even wait till tomorrow, like meow, right? Meow. You have to get on there. And I want you to talk about it too. Like, cause I mix it up. Like it's weird that I even think about it this far, but like sometimes I'll do like visual stories on like inviting on my stories. So like I'll make a photo, a super cute photo template in Canva or something, and I'll use photos of my team and I, or I'll use photos of me at Summit or Cameron and I, whatever, and I'll tell a story through photos. But I also think it's super, super powerful when you get on there and you use your own voice and you talk about what coaching has done for you with your own voice, not just photos, but you talk about it in your own voice. Do I think that people's attention spans are a little less than what they were even a year ago? Yeah. So I'm going to say don't talk for 20 stories. Don't even talk for 10 stories. I'm going to say try to keep it short in like 5 stories. Talk about one piece of coaching that's really helped you. I'll never forget that. So you guys probably know who Josh Coates is. And he gave me some really awesome advice one time. And he was like, the influence that you can have to people when you get up there and you use your own voice is 10 times stronger than if you just post on social media with visuals. Like, so, and his example was like, so like you're showing up on your social media every single day. You're posting photos, you're posting videos, you're telling stories every single day, but you're just using visuals. But if I come in and I talk to these people on a video with my face and with my voice, I can convince them, I can get them to see the vision in 5 minutes. And now all of a sudden they're willing to buy, do, and join absolutely anything I'm offering. Because that's the power of like speaking in your own voice and using public speaking as a tool. So I just want to say, if anyone's like me, I totally like jumped into this without even telling you any of my background. But when I first became a coach, I was so shy, like deathly shy. This would have made me like puke. I would have been like, yeah, Ashley, I'm good. I think I'm not going to do this for you, but thanks anyway. So like when stories first came out, it was so out of my comfort zone. And I had already like grown my confidence. I'd already been coaching for a while. I had done some team calls, but when stories came out, all of a sudden it was this new world where I was like, talking? Like, you want me to talk to these people like that? No? What? No. I mean, it's fine to post a pretty photo, but you want me to talk? That's weird. So anyways, I just kind of want to, in case anyone's relating and they're like, you want me to talk? You want me to actually get on there and talk? Like, I've been there, and I promise it gets easier the more you do it. Josh had me create like a Instagram challenge for one of his groups. And that was something I said that needed to be in there every single day. I was like, you need to make your people talk on their social media, like on their stories, talk in their own voice every single day. I don't care if it's about coaching. I don't care if it's about a challenge group, but they need to get on there and talk. The only way you get better at something is by doing it. That was like total side note, but whatever you put out on social media is exactly what you're going to get in return. So talk about the business, talk about the challenge groups, whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. I felt like I was going to say something else about stories, but like I said, if you guys have questions about social media or anything like that after, we can get to that. Lastly, I wanted to say, always be confident, believe in what you're offering, because if you don't believe in what you're offering, ain't nobody going to want to join you. Like, you have to wholeheartedly believe. So make a list tonight of every single thing that coaching has done for you in any shape or form. It doesn't matter. I want you to brain dump. Like, that list should be so long. It should have little things on there, big things, every single way that you have benefited from coaching so far. And bam, you have an entire list of things to pull from on your social media as ways to invite people. Be yourself. I know that we see other coaches killing it on social media, and we probably think that their whole business is attraction marketing. One, I promise you it's not. Two, you don't need to be like them. So just because Jatana Jackson dances to country music naked every day on her social media doesn't mean that you have to. I want you to be yourself, because that is like the only way people are going to, I swear that's the secret sauce. Like, confidence, belief, and being yourself, that is the secret sauce. There's a huge difference between a coach showing up and not having those things but doing the things, and then a coach showing up with all three of those things and doing the same exact things. You guys could do the same exact things, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to stand in your power. You have to be confident. You have to know what you're offering can literally change someone's life, because it can, and you shouldn't have any question in your mind. So be yourself. Authenticity is really a secret power in life. Okay, so behind the scenes invites. I'm actually going to give you guys some examples. There you go, talking. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I have 3 invites. Okay, so I have a story invite if you have someone watching your stories. Okay, if someone is watching you on social media, whether it's your regular organic post or it's behind the scenes in stories, you don't need to have a forming conversation. Like, I mean, Katerina probably just was like, oh my God, I can't believe she just said that. But if they're stalking you, they're interested. Like, if they're watching you, they're interested. They might not join the first invite, because how many exposures do people need? Average 7. How many times do people need to hear something? 7. But they're curious. Like, so you might as well just invite them. So you're like, hey girl, mine says, hey queen, with like 1,000,000 emojis. Oh my God, I know this is probably so rando, but I see you watching my stories and I was checking you out, wink emoji, and I love your vibes. So you're going to go to their page and you're going to like stalk them a little. You're going to then return the stalk. Like I said, totally rando, but I have to ask you, have you ever considered doing what I do as a virtual wellness and lifestyle coach? Like, that's it. Simple, super simple. There's no need to overcomplicate. We're not going to word vomit. That's it. That's what you send. What was this? Okay, I have another one. Oh, this is the follow-up. Oh, this is game-changing. This is so game-changing. When Meg shared this, I stole this from Meg. When Meg shared this, you might have already told your team, Ashley, but I'm just going to tell them again. When Meg shared this follow-up invite, I was like, done. Game is over. Everyone's signing up. Okay. Hey, girl, hey. You can say whatever. This is super rando, especially since you ignored my last message. But I noticed you still watch my stories. You can input anything in there. If it's like your regular post, you can say, but I noticed you're still liking my shit. what a lot of people know on my stories is that I'm about fitness and wellness. And I'm also, well, I have stay-at-home kitty mom. You can put whatever you want there. But what a lot of people don't notice is that I'm actually building a virtual wellness and lifestyle business that is what allows me to stay home and be my own boss. Have you ever considered doing something like this, girlfriend? I can actually pop you into a workshop to learn more about it if you want, question mark. Always end with a question, because then they feel like they have to get back to you. But like that follow-up invite changed the game. Like mic drop, like all these people ignoring me, go invite all of them all over again. Like
I really like how you worded that. Could
like
you send those to me after this so I could post them on my team page? Thanks.
for sure. Trying to see if there's anything else.
Another thing that Meg Kolaus was Wazinski, I can't remember what her new name is. But another thing that she said was if they don't respond to you, another way to do it is say use the monkey emoji where they're like holding their hands over and say, I'm sorry if I offended you with my last message. And I did that, and I got so many people responding. Like 90% I feel like responded to that message because they were like, "Oh no, you didn't offend me at all. I was busy. I forgot to respond. I'm not interested. I am interested. I just totally like saw it and then was doing something. So I'm definitely going to go back to doing that because I did that all of November, a little bit of December, and I totally didn't do it last month. And I don't, yeah. So that's another way to like, they'll actually respond to you then because they're like, oh my gosh, no, you didn't offend me by sending that message. A lot of times they would just forgot to respond.
Yeah, I dig it. I feel like the whole, like I said, I just have fun with my power hours and stuff. Like sometimes when people don't get back to me and I followed up like 5 times, I just start to send them random gifts. Like I just start to send them like, I miss you gifts, or like, hey girl, you there? Like, I don't know if you guys have seen those gifts. We're like, are you there? Are you there though? I mean, I'm just having fun with it. Like if you show up in a fun, like, no one wants to join something that's boring. So like, please have fun with it. Please like blast music during your power hour, have fun with it. Like get your groove on, send audio messages as much as you can. Like I cannot even say enough about audio messages. They have been a game changer in my business because then people get to hear me. Like I said, you have such a greater level of influence when people can hear your voice and hear what you're saying and hear your passion. I know it's weird at first, like those first couple audios, they might be a little rusty, but the more you do it, like the easier it gets and it's just way more fun. Plus, like you don't have to type that all out. You know.
Are you doing like the follow-ups with the audio message?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
I mean, I do. Sometimes I'm lazy and I do the invite with the audio too. Like I just don't feel like copying and pasting, which is so easy. But sometimes I'm just like, my voice text can never do what my voice can do. Like to share with them how excited I am. So what else was I going to say? Oh, like beginning of the month is an awesome time to be like, yo girl, like I know you weren't ready last month, but it's a fresh month and I have like just 5 spots left in my self-love sisterhood. Do you want to grab one before they fill up? It's like so easy. Super simple. And I know Ashley runs sneak peeks for you guys, so take advantage of that all the time. Sneak peeks, like, oh my God. Like, I know I keep saying things are game changing, but for real, sneak peeks are the best because they're so fun and they get to see like multiple people from your team and they get to hear from different people. Like, I don't know what videos that Ashley uses if you guys made your own for your own team, but like whatever, like we use a lot of the older videos that are like Leah Case, like we use some of hers and we use like a bunch of, I don't think we have any of Meg's, but we have like, some of them are random people. I don't even know, but I'm just like, it's good for them to hear from other coaches who are in different places in their life. You know, I'm not a mom, I'm a cat mom, but I'm not a mom. So it's great for them to hear from like Leah Case or someone else. So sneak peeks are definitely, take advantage of that. So I can talk forever, but I would love if you wanted to open it up for questions.
Yeah, let's open it up for questions. You guys can just like unmute yourselves or put in the chat. One thing I did want to kind of reiterate that Cristal went over that I actually learned a lot about this weekend at the conference I was at was the speaking in person or speaking on video or obviously even the audio messages. So
Yeah.
they had a speaker that is literally a professional speaking coach. I'm doing his course now. I signed up for it. And he was giving all these client stories and his own story of literally doing public speaking, doing speaking on webinars, live videos, all the ways you can, actually speak to people. You can 10x your business. You can 10x your income. You can 10x your reach because people get that emotional connection to you and they feel like they know you better. They're not just reading text. They're seeing your personality when you speak. So that is a huge, huge aspect. And I know that a lot of people are scared to do that, especially, live videos or their stories, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think I wrote it down. You're not going to get better at anything unless you just do it.
Yeah.
So you just have to get over that fear and realize that you're helping someone by speaking to them. And you just have to literally, especially when you're doing stories, you're looking at yourself. So you're basically just talking to yourself, or you're talking to your best friend in your mind. This is what you need to think. And if you're not doing that, that's why your business isn't, excelling, because you have to do that, especially now in today's world, you have to do that.
Yeah, I agree. There was something I thought of the other day, and I did a live video in our Fizzless Tribe group where I was talking about, I talked about Summit, but I also talked about the fact that, like, hands down, 9 out of 10 times when someone joins my team, what do you think they say? They literally join me for my energy. And it's not that you have to be like enthusiastic and outgoing like I am. You don't have to be that way. But if you show up, and like I said, your superpower is being yourself. But if you show up like in a positive state, like with a high vibe energy, which doesn't necessarily mean outgoing, but it just means like showing up with like this positive passion, like that's hands down the most powerful thing. Like, and I think that was cool. That's cool for me to realize, is that like people don't join my team or my wellness studios because I have any special skills. Like, that's not why they join me. People ask me all the time, do you think being a certified health coach helps your business? No, helping my business is being myself. So like, if you want to grow a business, be yourself and like stand in that power. And like Ashley was saying, like talk, like get out there and just talk and like share your vision and get your passion out there. Oh, I didn't notice you guys were over here in the chat. I'm sorry. You're muted, Ashley.
Whoops. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. One question I know my team will want to know is, who do you invite? Like, obviously you invite everyone who watches your stories, but do you invite like every single person who likes your posts, every single follower? Like, what's your process for who you're inviting and like when, I guess?
Yeah. Anyone who's interacting. So like you said, not just stories, but people are interacting on my actual post, whether that's just a double tap or obviously a comment, I'm going to invite them. But even if it's just a double tap, like I'll reach out. And then new girlfriends. So I don't do like cold invites, but oh my God, Corinne is so cute. I don't do cold invites, but like if I make a new girlfriend and it's clear that she's into wellness and could do what we're doing, I'm not going to wait years to invite her. We're just going to go back and forth a couple times. And then I guarantee by then she's already watching my stories. So it's an easy invite. Like, inviting and building our teams does not take as long as it used to. It's amazing, like for real. I think there was a question. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more, we overcomplicate it in our heads.
Yeah.
And especially if you're posting consistently every day, every week, you're always going to have new likes, new, followers, new story viewers. Instagram takes the guesswork out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. Like, what were we doing 5 years ago? I was building a Facebook like page. That's what I was doing. I was going to say something to what
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell
Could
me.
you, hey, could you tell everybody, I think it'd be important for them to hear, because like your specific numbers, and you don't have to, you can say where we started, like way back in the day. I knew when coaches joined, we said, 3 to 5 business invitations a week.
Yeah.
And I know you and Ashley send like a lot. But can you tell like the progression of those numbers? Because I think that's something that people should hear, because then they know what to strive for, just so that people might get off this and, send out one this week and be for a week, and be like, did it. But really you should, have some numbers to strive for. So maybe like a beginner coach, and like as you progress, what your numbers have been.
Yeah, so I did start with the Power of Threes. I did it 6 days though. So I know Power of Threes is 5 days. I did it 6 days. And then I think I went up to 5s, did like the Power of 5s. And then, Ashley might even do more than me right now. But then I got into Josh's groups, and it was like 20 new girlfriends, 10 new invites. And 20 new girlfriends is way too much for me. But if you're a new coach and you've got like big goals, 20 new girlfriends is like clutch. But for me, just personally, my Instagram like tends to grow on its own. So making 20 new girlfriends organically was a lot when I had to track other people that were coming at me. So anyways, 10 new girlfriends is what I do now, and 10 invites. So it's 10.
When you say 10 new girlfriends, do you mean connections? I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Connections are, do you call them that? I do. So for my power hour, it's new people, like brand new people.
Connections talking to or followers?
That I'm talking. Well, it could be a new follower. Well, that I'm talking to, brand new, and connections for me are forming, like ongoing.
Okay.
Or do you call new girlfriends connections?
No. Well, I'm using like the Success Club tracker now.
Okay. So I use TeamZ. So connections are like
okay.
forming. Yeah. So hopefully that made sense.
And then your 10 invites a day, is that just split between like challenge group or coaching, or like how many coaches do you invite a week?
Okay, so since I use TeamZ, it's not broken. It's just all invites. But I'm going to be honest. Like the progression of my business has very much gone over to more coach invites than talent invites. Like I would say 80% of those 10 are coach invites. And oftentimes I do more than 10. Like, if you're in an invite flow, just because your goal is 5 or whatever, like don't stop.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions? I know you guys have questions. I know you have them in you. Let's ask Cristal while we have her.
There's a question in the chat for you.
Oh, is there? Oh, let me see.
It says, I always freeze when people say, tell me more. Do you talk about the specific program you're doing, or just about what a general challenge group is?
So if if it has to do with fitness, I'll do a couple sentences. I'll be like, yeah, girl, for sure. Like these wellness groups that I run are basically virtual fitness parties where we all get together and we support each other and hold each other accountable to slaying our goals and like becoming the best version of ourselves. I'm super excited you're asking more about it. Like if you wouldn't mind, you can take this 2 ways. And I kind of feel it out like based off the person's vibes. And if we've talked before, you can either say, I would love to like learn more about you and like why you're interested so that I can best help you. So can you tell me like why you're curious? ? You can end it there. Or if you've talked to this person before and like you have relationships and they're watching you, you could just say like, hey girl, do you mind? I use Google Forms. I don't know if anyone else uses Google Forms, but my invite process, like after I invite them and they say yes, I send a Google form and they answer a bunch of questions for me. So at that point I would say like, I'm so glad you're interested. Like if you wouldn't mind, would you fill out this form for me so that I can learn more about your goals and I can help you to the best of my ability? And then I would send the form.
So I have a question about that. Do a lot of people actually fill out the form, or do you have a lot of people not fill out the form?
Most people fill out the form, more than not. Yeah.
Okay. Because I haven't tried that yet, but I've always thought about it.
Yeah. It's just so much easier
than having to ask a bunch of questions, like type up a bunch of questions.
What kind of questions do you have on it?
I can send it in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if that'll just save time. Like you can get more invites out and more follow-ups out if you use that instead.
Well, I was going to ask, because my question was, how do you not word vomit all over someone asking everything about the programs, you know?
Yeah, I try to keep it like just 2 sentences and always put it back on them. Like ask a question. Let's see. Oh, over here.
For the business, I know you're looking for your link, but I have another question. For your business invites,
Yeah.
could you explain, do you use like a third-party tool still?
I was going to ask that.
I know you plug them into a group, but is your group ongoing? Or if you don't have a sneak peek going right now, do you send them other resources, or are you just describing everything to them?
So, last quarter of last year, my leaders and I were like, running these sneak peeks are exhausting. Like we love the live aspect of it, but we were like, I can't do this weekly. I can't do this bi-weekly. I don't even know if I can do this monthly. And it kept happening where it would be scheduled once a month. And we were like, why are we just posting the same information over and over and over again? So we created a social learning group on Facebook so that people could just go through the unit. So I put all of our sneak peek info, like I shouldn't say my leaders and I put all of our sneak peek info in the different units so they could go through in an organized fashion. Social learning groups are like amazing.
And those units are like the videos and stuff that you previously mentioned of different people describing stuff?
Yeah. Do you want me to add you?
Yeah, sure.
Well.
I wanted you to tell everybody that you won't just explain everything. I feel like a lot of people do that. And like that's something this is like old school. Like I still do this too. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch this 3-minute video? I'm like always showing stuff because people like that better than if you write them a ton of stuff. And like you said earlier too, we include our ego in how we describe stuff.
Yeah.
How a brand new coach might describe coaching is different than if you send them a couple-minute video of Janelle Summers describing coaching.
Yeah.
So I feel like we overcomplicate, like, oh, what are they going to ask me? Am I not going to know what to say? Oh, like, what am I going to say? Where it's like, hey, you want to watch this video? You want to check out these units in my social learning group? It's like sending them somewhere else, right?
Yeah, and it takes the pressure off of you explaining it. Like, I don't explain anything. Like, I don't ever explain.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear you say.
So do you always tell them about that and put them in that?
Yeah. So it's just ongoing, which means like people don't have to wait for a sneak peek, or I don't have to. I mean, I know we have like Janelle videos and Christine Dwyer videos, but I mean, they're great, but I prefer like a group atmosphere. It could just be my personality. So I'm so glad.
I want to check that out for sure, because it does take a lot out of you when you're trying to find a date that works. Then you all go live and, I mean, they do well, but this would be, we're inviting more often, more consistently. And it's not like, oh, once a month, because that's what we do now, is just once a month event. And I feel like we need to be more consistent with inviting and getting new people checking out, not just once a month.
Yeah. And I think it depends where you're at in your business. So for me, I came to a point where I was like, an hour of my time, like, I mean, I know inviting to the business is the best use of my time, but I was also like an hour of my time at night when like I'm trying to unplug and when I'm trying to teach all of my leaders to not be plugged into their business at night. I mean, I know it's just one night a month. Like I sound like I am a baby grandma. Like I do need to go to bed right now. I'm just kidding. It's 6 out here.
I know now the time change might help.
It's so amazing. Like calls are done at like 6. It's the best. I can go to bed like at 7. No, I'm just kidding. I don't go to bed that early. Katarine's like, yeah, I've texted her before and she's gonna sleep at 7. Christine, no, it's not lies. No. Anyway, so I mean, what I would do, Ashley, is if you guys still like the live and they get to hear from you, just make a social learning group and redo the lives.
Yeah, we have a bunch saved.
Okay.
That Kat and Tiffany and Megan have done, myself. So we could definitely get this set up.
Yeah.
ASAP. So yeah, whenever you have a chance, let me just add me in.
You're Yeah, you're in there.
Oh, I'm in there already?
Yeah, you're already in there.
You like just added me just now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're the best. Another reason why I love coaching, and I mean, I would add that to my list, is how we all, share knowledge, help each other. Nothing's ever secret. Nobody's ever competing with each other.
Totally. I agree. Yeah. That's the best thing. I mean, so before I started this, I don't know if Kat might remember this. I did like one-on-one health coaching before I started my business where, like I had to trade my time for clients. And so the only way I could make more money was to give away more of my time. Whereas with this, like that's not the case. Like you build a team, you guys have common goals, you go for them together, like you get residual income. I mean, we make money while we sleep. So anyways, but that was part of why I was like, I'm doing Beachbody all. I'm like F one-on-one coaching. But the other side of that was the community. Like it's so much more fun to like go for goals together as opposed to being this little island over here.
Yes. And I think too, you're not going to get out of this community. You're only going to get out what you put in. So we have an amazing community and all of our teams, all of our, the whole downline. But if you don't go to events, if you don't show up on calls, if you don't participate in Team Cup, if you don't go to Summit, if you don't, do any of like little team challenges or team fun things that we plan virtually, in person, in the Facebook group, then you're never going to experience the full magnitude of the community.
Right.
And, you're only hurting yourself in that aspect. You're only missing out yourself.
Totally. Yeah. You get in what you like put in, Yeah. We have this amazing community. Beachbody puts things on for a reason. Like Team Cup is not just for fun. I mean, it's fun, but there's a reason they put it on. So like be a part of it, and not just Team Cup. That's just an example. But if they do anything else, be a part of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a random question. For anyone, really. I am really good at like creating a bond with the new girlfriends that I'm talking to, and I invite them, and like some of them aren't ready, which is fine, but I'm noticing that like a great number of them will like go and like they'll tag me in like things that they think that I might like, or like giveaway things, and like I don't know, like I'm fine with that, but like I feel like they're thinking about me, and obviously they're interested in me and what I do. How can I get past that like barrier there?
Okay, so you actually made me think of something that I was going to say anyway. So today on the National Wake Up Call, gosh, I forget her name. Fitzpatrick. Kim
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. She said that like if you have unsuccessful share carts, so like people aren't signing up, there's some missing link, you need to go back to what happened previously. And there are like two main things that could have happened. You didn't ask enough questions and you didn't dive deep enough to get to know what they truly wanted and to connect their why. I'm not saying this is you, Christy. I'm just saying you made me think of this. Or there's a missing link with your social media, like kind of like what I talked about in the beginning of this training. Like if your social media is not consistent, or you're not showing up every single day on both stories and regular posts, or if you're not actually sharing all of the things going on, there's going to be a missing link. So it kind of can go back to those two things. Like, did I ask enough questions? Did I dive deep enough? Did I connect them to their needs? Like build that share cart that's like authentic to them? Or is there something going on with my social media? Like, and I think it's so helpful to do a social media audit like every 3 months. Like go to your social media page, look at what people are seeing in the first 9 levels, like look at what people are seeing, look at your day's worth of stories and being like, would I join me? Like, if I was an outsider, have like your spouse do it or have a friend do it. Is it clear what I do on both aspects and what I join? I I don't know if that's helpful to what you asked.
No, that's a good point. I love the idea of, you know, auditing. I feel like sometimes you just, you know, don't take the time to really see like, okay, what was working 5 months ago might not be working right now. You know, maybe I need to do something different.
Yeah, which is so true, like right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing, this is on the same topic as that, but another thing from the conference that they were talking about, they're like, sales is a contact sport. You have to be inviting, you have to be connecting, you have to be contacting daily.
Yeah. And it's all about relationships. So, I mean, the more you can go out there and be yourself, I sound like a broken record, but.
Nope, it's true. Does anyone else have any other questions? Anybody? All right. Well, thank you so much, Cristal. This was amazing. And I just am so glad that